Today we can get to the round of 16 in the FA Cup, as well as having a really good start to February in the league. But before we continue, when we actually get onto the real video, I've got a devastating piece of news about one of our players. So without any further ado, for episode 8 of season 4, roll the intro.
It goes Pompey, 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 you're the team. Pompey, 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 you're the cream. Pompey, you're the greatest, and we'll keep following you. We'll keep following Pompey, following the boys in blue.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 8 of season 4 of the Portsmouth Sound Football Match 2018. Today, as you can see, we've got two pretty big games. The first one in the fourth round of the FA Cup against Leeds United, who we're battling with, as you can see, in the league for an automatic promotion spot. And then a game in the league against strugglers Cardiff to hopefully get a win on the board there. So we've only played 2 games since I've last been with you, and there have been 2 quite hectic games, I think it's fair to say. Obviously, in the last episode we played against Brighton and Bristol City, but since then it's been really hectic. We played against Nottingham Forest. Now, this was just an absolutely crazy game, and it's been well documented this season that we haven't had good starts to games. That's fair enough. We went 2-0 down within the first 12 minutes. Panic station started, and Jack Harper got one back. It was 2-1. Then Glatzel got one, 2-2, brilliant. And then Cummins got one and made it 3-2 before half-time. And as you imagine, I absolutely went ballistic at the players. And credit to the players, they did absolutely fantastically after half-time. Jack Harper, McAlinden and Burgess contributed to a 7-minute thrill, I suppose you could say, to make it 5-3. And then Jack Harper finished it off in the 94th minute with a penalty, which gave him his hat-trick as well. So that was a hectic game, but something we really shouldn't have let happen. And that carried on, spilled over to the next game against Reading as well. They also went 2-0 up within 25 minutes. Panic stations again. We did the same sort of thing, but it didn't pay off. Mike Van Duinen got a double in 5 minutes to make it 4-0 before half-time. And I thought, Jesus Christ, with games like this, we are not going to go up. And for the first time in his career away from Portsmouth, Luke McGee's actually beat us. Barrow made it 5-1 after Harper got one back, and then Chaplin got one to make it 5-2, but it was a bit of a rubbish game because Reading are down in the relegation zone, a little bit like the Sunderland game. We seem to be a little bit prone to the big loss once in a while. But before we get to the Leeds and Cardiff games, I bet you guys want to know, what on earth am I going on about with this devastating piece of news? It's, it concerns KAL Naismith, and hint, KAL Naismith. I don't know how you guys haven't noticed this, I certainly haven't. And I was notified by Sam this morning. If you're watching, Sam, I thanked you earlier, I'll thank you again. He said to me this morning, do you realise that it's KAL Naismith and not Kai Naismith? Because since the first episode, KAL's been here and has been on the thumbnail since the first episode. And I've been coming in Kai Naismith purely because on the tactics screen, it's got like the big L. And I thought it was a dot at the top of the L. And for all this time, I've just been calling him Kai Naismith. Well, I've got your name wrong, KAL. It's KAL Naismith. I don't know whether just for the crack to put his nickname to Kai Naismith, just so we can, gloss over all those games that he's played without. But I apologise to Mr. Naismith. And I can't believe none of you guys have noticed that. Whether you haven't just wanted to make me look like an idiot. But I finally noticed, well, I didn't notice, but Sam noticed. And thank you to Sam for that. But I did maybe exaggerate that bit of devastating news. But oh well, we're going to get into the game against Leeds anyway now. I highly rotate for this game. Obviously, it's a cup game, and a lot of the players are tired. So Allsop remains in goal, because we've got no other goalkeepers, because of course Gazaniga's gone out on loan. Then we've got Donald Love, Masterson, Watmore and Leahy at the back, with Rossiter and May in the middle. And then KAL Naismith starts in the attacking midfield positions alongside Oliver Shenton and Jordan Obita, who hasn't really played much this season, apart from when Jack Harper was out the injury. Jack Harper, as you can see, is 7.62. That's fantastic to see on an average rating in the last 5 games. And then Chris Long is our striker for the game against Leeds today. Now, obviously, it's important to state that Leeds are doing really well in the league. They're in the automatic promotion spots. But as we saw in the previous round of the Cup, we beat Premier League side Brighton, so simply anything can happen. And an update as well on Fleetwood is that they've actually won 2 games in the last 3. If you don't know what I'm going on about, basically, we managed to get Fleetwood promoted last season, which is really nice for them. To the Premier League. Basically, we beat Sunderland on the last day, and Sunderland could have gone up, and they didn't, blah, 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 all that. And they went up going up, Fleetwood did, through the playoffs, and they're not doing too brilliantly, but they're only 9 points away from staying up at the moment, whereas they were like 15 a few games ago, so that was worrying for them. So that's your Fleetwood update. But in terms of Portsmouth, there's nothing really happening in these first few minutes, which I'm not surprised at, really. As long as we win the second game of today's episode, I'm more than happy with that, because our league form has been really not catastrophic lately. That's a bit exaggerative, but definitely inconsistent's the word. I mean, in the last 7 games, we've had, you know, such brilliant wins against Nottingham Forest, as you can see there, 6-3, and such damning lows. I mean, that 5-2 against Reading, 7-1 against Sunderland. It just seems that as soon as we concede a few goals, there's like a switch. And as soon as we concede a few goals, the players just completely turn off. But we haven't conceded yet at Elland Road here, which is a success. I mean, Leeds were in the Premier League last season in this game, so they've got a good squad. You know, they've got the likes of Patrick Roberts, Andy King, Kemal Roof as well, Nick Pope. I'm going to say that all these players have got Premier League pedigree. It's fairly obvious because pretty much they have all played in the Premier League. And it's interesting to say that they haven't really had too much of a turnover now they've come into the Championship after the Premier League. That's interesting. But well, another update as well, if you're an avid viewer of the series and you watched Friday's video. If you did wish me luck for the public speaking today as I'm recording this, thank you very much. But unfortunately, that was cancelled because of the extreme weather conditions. If you're watching this in the future and you're not getting what I'm on about, just remember the Beast from the East. If you want to search that up, I'm sure it'll be brilliant. You know, even in 30 years' time, everyone will know and go on Google. But yeah, the Beast from the East is not treating us too well, and unfortunately that exam was, well, not postponed, but cancelled, basically. And whilst it's a bit annoying, I have got the day free to myself now, and I still get a little bit ahead on FM, so a little bit of a result, but, you know, don't go around and tell anyone on that. But anyway, we're 53 minutes in at Elland Road, and it's a little bit of a boring game, but that just could start to spell into life here with a counter-attack for us, so just check OBS is fine, which it is. Looks like Adam May did get dispossessed there, and it's been a bit of a boring game. Maybe the players don't want it. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I mean, it's not of paramount importance, but we haven't won a trophy yet, and it would be brilliant, probably next season or the season after, to win. I was going to say the Premier League then, you know, well, it's a bit quick. Maybe to win a cup or get close. I mean, we got to the quarter-final, I want to say, of the Carabao Cup one season here, but we've never really got any further than that. And if we can win today and get a good draw in the next round, then we could get to the quarter-finals, but the last thing we want, in fact, is a replay here. So I'm a bit worried about this now. We've got 15 minutes to go, and it's been, you know, there's been no shortage of shots, etc. It just seems to have been that neither side's been too clinical. We're going to change to 4-2-2 now with Connor Chaplin and McAlinden getting their, what's it called, partnership up front gone. But it's been a bit of a peculiar season, really. We expected Chaplin to do a lot more, but maybe there was too much pressure on him this season. The fact he was favourite to be top goal scorer. He's only scored 14, which, for Connor Chaplin's standards, is a bit naff, really. But, you know, oh well. But it looks like this could be a goal for Leeds here. Bozier to Hanker. Hanker forward to Kemal Roof, one-on-one, and he's tried to chip it over, but it went a little bit too high, and he put a little bit too much power into it. That's sad for him. We've got 10 minutes left here. I don't want to say we'll take a loss, but we're pushing up just so we can get a goal either way, because we really don't want to replay, you know. We want to save ourselves for all the matches in the league, but we just need to have a look at this highlight. KAL Naismith puts it to David Meyler. That's never going to get old, taking the mick out of me now if that is it. KAL Naismith on the wing, puts it in, and Nick Pope picks up the loose ball. I'm a little bit surprised the defender didn't get a touch on that, but maybe it seemed a little bit harder than it looked on the 2D camera. But they've now got a counter-attack. Bozier into the box, puts it into the box for Hegarty, and Hegarty's still got it to Hanker, and our number 2 gets it out. This could be a counter-attack for us now. Chaplin, lovely ball for it to McAlinden. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He shoots. Oh, it's wide. And apparently he looks disgusted with himself. That was so unlucky, because he'd beaten the goalkeeper by all accounts, and it was just wide. But we could be made to rue that mistake. Not quite. We've got it out here. We could have a counter-attack. Adam May on the ball. Lovely ball up to Chaplin. Can he win that? No, he can't quite. Hanley back to Pope. Pope puts it out, and Masterson wins that back. Obita. Nice ball up. Oh, unlucky. Janssen gets it, and Kemal Roof's now got this real end-to-end stuff. And that wasn't quite the finish that they were looking for there. Really the story of the game today, it seems, that the finishing just hasn't been there. We've still got time for an extra time excitement, but Adam May on the ball. Decent ball up, but not really getting to anything. Hegarty to Bozier. This could be the counter that Leeds need. Roof one-on-one with Allsop, and that's another poor finish again from the Leeds striker. Looks like he's picked up a bit of a niggle, so that might be down to wide. But this looks like it will get to a replay, which doesn't help us out. I thought that was in there, but it was offside for Patrick Roberts, so that is going to be the end of the game, it looks like. But, it's better than losing. But it's a bit annoying that we have to go for a replay. I'm just going to say we're not happy with the performance, because at the end of the day, we should have done something there. Good result in the league, in that Sunderland have beaten Southampton, because that means that they don't capitalise on our loss against Reading a few days ago. But that's quite a shock. I'll let you know what happens in the draw, because obviously we'll still be in the draw. And that that replay will be straight after the Cardiff game. So you guys won't get to see that. But week's time, we're going to go back to Fratton Park, and hopefully we can capitalise with a win against Cardiff. Here we are then, ready for the game against Cardiff. Good news is we won't drop out the playoffs today, because Middlesbrough and Norwich met last night, who are 7th and 8th, and they drew. So it means that we're going to retain our playoff spot. For the day's game against Cardiff, we're going to have Allsop in goal, that's an obvious. We've Thompson, Masterson, Watmore and Husband at the back. We've Roster and Colkett in the middle. Colkett moaned about wanting to move to Norwich. They put a 2 million bid in. I wasn't interested still. I think he's going to be a class player, and he hasn't quite reached his ability yet, so no. And then Long, Harper and Obita in the attacking midfield. KAL Naismith doesn't play because he's got high injury risk. And then Liam McAlinden is up front for us. So hopefully we can get a win against Cardiff today, because that would really help our playoff hope. Because really, that's all we're aiming for now. We don't care about anything else. We just want to make the playoffs, and at best, make the automatic promotion spots. At the end of the day, this is our 3rd season. Yeah, it's our 3rd season in the Championship now, and we've done decently in all those seasons. Last year, I think the wheels came off at the end because we finished in about 14th in the end. That was purely because the wheels came off our challenge. But this year has definitely been our best year. Yeah, it's the first time we've been in the automatic promotion spots at some point. So that's got to mean something. I mean, there's a lot of clubs that I suppose get up to that sort of place. I mean, I remember Derby a few years ago under Steve McLaren. They were top of the league by Christmas, and then when it got to the end of the season, they finished 7th. So it just shows how much and how close the Championship can be. But that's a lovely goal from Jack Harper, who's also got the Championship Player of the Month from last month. And just a reminder that this player has gone to Portsmouth en route from, I think it was Brighton, Real Madrid, and then Malaga. Real Madrid, Brighton, then Malaga. So as you can see, he's been all around the houses, and he's finally getting a chance here at this club, and he's doing magnificently with that chance. And he can play all across the attacking midfield as well as playing up front. So he's really just a player who can play all-rounder, really, who can play anywhere, which is just what we need at the club. And it helps because he's always going to be in the team. And he justifies his wage every single game. And he's playing really well at the moment, so that's really good to see. But we're leading this game 40 minutes in 1-0. We've really not had a lot of opposition, to be honest, from Cardiff at the moment. And as it stands, we are 3 points away from getting into the automatic promotion spot. So as long as we keep sort of a little buff between that is quite decent. And now we're 6 points away from Norwich, the challengers to our playoff hopes. That's really good, because it just means at least we're going to get playoffs. So we don't have to worry about getting playoffs. It would just be nice if we got that automatic promotion. I mean, if you guys were down here in Season 1, you will remember that we basically got into the automatic promotion spots on the last day, purely because Wigan, had a bit of an upset and decided to lose, if you like, on that final day. And as you can see with this Championship, that can happen to anyone on any day of the Championship season. So there's a real potential that on the last day we could be 3 points behind Leeds, or it could be in the other situation. We could be 3 points off Norwich, who are in 7th and we're in 6th, let's say. And it can all change in one game weekend, which is why I try to not look at the table too much, and rather just focus on our results rather than anybody else's. But with stuff like that from Burgess, put us under a little bit of pressure, that's not going to help us at all. But what would be good is 2-0, which is what we nearly got there. Harper with a good shot, and Chaplin not playing too well there, but Harper just seems to be the commanding player in the team all around at the moment. I can't remember if did I not? That we didn't bother making any deals in January, especially Inns. I just thought, to be honest, we've got a good squad. We don't really need anybody else. No one else to upset the apple cart. And that's exactly what we haven't done. And Connor Chaplin gets a goal. I was moaning about him earlier. Colkett got the assist, and that is very nice. And as it says there, surely we cannot be caught now. We'll go on counter-attack and just tell the players to tighten up just to make sure. But I think we are going to close out this one against Cardiff, and that is absolutely fantastic, because that's a good win. We haven't conceded, and it helps the goal difference, which could be absolutely massive, seeing as the gaps between clubs are really minuscule at the moment in this playoff fight and the fight for the championship. You know, there's no club that are running away with it. Last season, Palace and Brighton ran away with it, whereas this season there's no club to run away with it, which is good for us, so I'm more than happy with that. And we've got 5 minutes left anyway here at Fratton Park. Can they get themselves back into the game? It doesn't look like it. Obita won it back from Gallagher there. Colkett to Harper. Harper to Long. I think it's fair to say if we get into the Premier League, we've got some real solid Premier League players. Maybe some positions to improve on, yes. But, you know, we've got some players. Harper, Chaplin, Naismith, Colkett. There's definitely a few players. That's what I'm trying to say. That's a brilliant goal from Long off a Colkett corner. And this is starting to look really good now. Really solid game against Cardiff, who are really struggling in the league. Only 1 point off getting relegated. And unbelievably, in the game now, it's 10 years since Cardiff have been in the Premier League. So, quite unbelievable. It's obviously been longer since we've been in the Premier League in terms of Portsmouth. So, it'd be brilliant to take the club back there. And with wins like this against Cardiff, that is exactly what we should be doing. But is that Dan Gosling playing? Well, I suppose, I keep thinking this, but we are in 2021 now. So, you know, there are going to be regens starting to filter through. And there's going to be people that are maybe younger or older that are going to clubs that you don't expect them to. I mean, John Terry's retired. There's other players that are retired as well, but brilliant stuff from us in that second half. I'm really happy with that. 3 different goal scorers, which is crucial, just to show we don't rely on one man. And yeah, that is really, really good. So we'll see when we come back next episode. As you can see, we are firmly inside that playoff hunt. And when are we going to come back? I feel like we should come back for the next 2 games, you know. Because that Fulham game, they're in 3rd place. And as you can see, that could really tip things over. But then we've also got Sheffield United. In fact, we are going to play... We're basically going to have 2 episodes inside 5 games. So, the next episode, episode 9, will be Leeds against Leeds and Fulham. And then the episode after will be Sheffield United and Norwich. It's purely because those 4 games are massive. Not discounting the Wolves game in any way, of course. Yeah, those 4 games are really important. Then we'll suss when we're coming back after that. But just a little bit of a preview for you when we're coming back. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed that, really make sure to leave a like on the video just to improve our position in the search rankings. And also comment anything you thought about the video and subscribe to the channel if you are here to see daily FM content. I already know I've butchered this outro, but it's expected on this channel. But anyway, I've been TIJ. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 PM for another episode of the Pompey Push. It's not the Pompey Push, it's just FM18 Portsmouth. I'm really not creative with this sort of stuff. But anyway, I've been TIJ. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.